welcome back to my channel, Health Layer, Dr. Vero here, and this is Kobe. It's my little French Bulldog. So today I want to talk about my mission to buy him, all the research that I did to buy him, and what you need to know if you guys want a Frenchie for yourselves. So there's a lot of things about this breed that are very important to know, especially when you're buying one. You kind of have to choose a pet that is going to fit your lifestyle and what you're going to be doing. So definitely, just do your research like I did, because I went a little bit crazy. I went a little bit nuts when I did my research with him. So I'm going to tell you all that now. I'm going to talk about some of the things that I bought for him, what food I bought for him, why I bought it for him, some of his favorite snacks. His name is Kobe. He's a French Bulldog. So this kind of hair pattern is called pied. He's a blue pied. Hi, buddy. He's a blue pied because this isn't black. This is actually a blue color. His eyes are also blue, especially when the light hits his eyes. If you guys follow him on Instagram, I'll post his handle below so you guys can do that if you like. And I also post tons of stories about him. He's my little partner. I sleep with him. He's kind of chosen to, harass my parents' bathroom and use it as his own potty place. I think it's because there's a mirror and he sees competition, he sees himself, and he's like, nope, this is my territory, and he pees there all the time. So we're having some issues with that. But other than that, he's really well trained. He doesn't pee anywhere else except there, which is really funny. Anyway, so I'm going to be talking about what I did to find him and all the questions I asked a vet even before I bought a dog. It's just pretty silly. Okay, so when I decided I wanted to get a French Bulldog, we started doing some research. We went to pet stores. We went to multiple. Petland was a huge one that we went to. Tons of places in Miami area that sell French Bulldogs. One of the main things I found in all of these different pet stores, every time they would come out and you got to play with them, they just seemed very agitated, very excited to see people, like if they had been locked up for a long time. And it broke my heart. I couldn't. And I mean, a lot of people told me, well, you shouldn't buy one, you should adopt a dog. I wanted to have a baby. I wanted him to see me as his mom, so that when he was an older adult, me and him had this special bond. And so I never really wanted to adopt a pet. And a lot of people got so mad at me. But honestly, you shouldn't let people's opinions of what you're doing deter you from doing what you want to do. So I wanted to buy a dog. I bought a dog. I did what was best for me and what made me happy. If it makes you happy to adopt a dog, by all means adopt the whole kennel if you want. It doesn't matter. But do your research on the breed. Every breed is different. French Bulldogs in themselves are already an expensive breed, and I didn't want to be paying double the price just because it was in a conveniency of a pet store that I could walk into and see them. So I decided to start Googling places, and I found this amazing place in Missouri. Yeah, Missouri. So he's a Missouri boy. And he was raised in a house with a family, with his brothers and sisters. They breed French Bulldogs. This is their area of expertise. When I found Pin Oaks, I immediately started texting with the owner of Pin Oaks. And she was wonderful. I spoke to her all the time. I bombarded her with questions. Poor lady, she had no idea what hit her. I asked her about the mom, about the dad, if they had any health issues, because in medicine, a lot of issues that are your own health also are hereditary. So I wanted to know if my puppy was gonna have any health issues that were hereditary. So I asked, has the mom had any surgeries aside from a C-section? Has the dad had any surgeries? Any problems with their knees? Any arthritis? Any heart issues? Any blah, blah, blah? Any issues with their palate? Any issues with their nose? Any stenosis of the nares, which is actually very common in these dogs. I asked about their eyes, if they had any issues with their eyes, because they get something called cherry eye, which is really, really painful and really bad, and it needs surgery. I asked her if he was AKC certified. AKC certification just basically allows you to see the pedigree of your dog, that your dog is a true breed, that he is pure, that he meets the standards of the AKC to be called a French Bulldog. A lot of dogs that are sold from random breeders do not have AKC certification. My puppy is AKC certified. His parents were AKC certified. If I wanted to, I can pay the AKC and have his pedigree sent to me and his whole entire family lineage, which is amazing. On top of that, he has a chip, which I think is very useful because, God forbid, he would get lost or someone would steal him, because he is the cutest puppy I have ever seen in my life, and he is totally stealable. So I want to make sure I can get him back. So I actually recently received a special chip from the AKC that I can activate, and it's kind of like an Amber Alert for puppies. I'm getting that because I'm kind of like paranoid about someone stealing my puppy. But yeah, so I did that. Another thing I did, which is kind of psycho, I actually went to the vet before I even bought a French Bulldog, and I asked about the cost of all the corrective surgeries that these Frenchies sometimes need. Because they're Frenchies, I'm not going to talk about medical terminology because I am not a vet. So all I'm going to say is what I found, and I'm going to say it in layman's terms, or terms that I would use, because I'm not a vet. So usually Frenchies, they have a very flat face. And so their nose, they have issues breathing. And a lot of people say, hey, it's a Frenchie, it's normal for their breed. Just because it's normal for their breed doesn't mean it's good for them, okay? It's like saying, hey, certain cultures have high risk of diabetes, that's normal. No, just because it's normal doesn't mean it's good for you, okay? Diabetes is not good, breathing issues is not good. So I purposefully, oh my God, he fell asleep. I purposefully looked for a puppy that had kind of a longer snout, not so squished in, because when they have a squished in nose, they have more respiratory issues, respiratory infections. They might have something called, like I mentioned, the stenosis of the nose, of the nares. So basically it kind of gets like stuck together and closed up, and that needs corrective surgery. A lot of these squishy faced dogs also have issues with their palate. If their palate is too long, it's going to cause respiratory issues as well. And so they're going to have to do corrective surgery to shave off a piece of the top palate so that they can breathe properly. And I didn't want to have to go through that. So I looked for a puppy that, you know, wasn't very squishy nose, that wouldn't have respiratory difficulties. A lot of these dogs don't run or exercise because of these issues. He runs like a maniac because his nose is a little bit longer. He doesn't breathe funny. He snores sometimes, but it's not like he's constantly making little piggy noises because he can't breathe properly. You know what I mean? So I was very excited when I saw him. Aside from his color, his face is just the cutest thing in the world, as you can see. Even when he's asleep, he's so cute. But that's why I got him, because he had all the requirements that I wanted. On top of that, he's actually the biggest size of his brothers and sisters in his litter. But I chose him because of that, because I didn't want a very small, fragile dog. I wanted to have a dog, but a dog that would also be allowed to live in an apartment, would also be allowed, you know, to stay indoors, that I wouldn't need to exercise him like a crazy person because of my lifestyle. So you need to pick a dog that fits your life. Another thing, you do need to cut their nails, their toes. They have special clippers. You can even use human clippers, but I would not recommend that. I would recommend buying the puppy clippers, which is what I bought him. And I cut them all the time. Well, not all the time, but like once every 2 to 3 weeks, because they grow and you need to protect their pads. And to do that, you have to cut their nails, because it can be really, really painful if you don't cut their nails. They won't be able to walk properly. On top of that, I bathe them once a month. But every single day after I walk him, I use a special cloth. I have it here. So these are natural, biodegradable, you know, they're healthy swabs. They're kind of like baby swabs. And essentially what you do is you pull one out. I actually ran out, I have to buy some more. You pull one out, and it's a little wet towel, and I just rub it all over his hair and all over his body. The reason why I do this is because I'm pretty sure he's allergic to grass, because every time he goes in the grass, he comes in and his eyes are kind of watery. And so that's how I know that he must be allergic to something when he goes outside. So I always wash his face, especially around the creases of his eyes, because a lot of bacteria can accumulate within the little fat rolls. So you have to clean them. And I clean them. And I clean his paws, underneath his toes, between his toes. I make sure I check him. I'm compulsive. He sleeps with me, so I don't want him bringing all the gunk from the yard into my bed. So I clean his paws, I clean his ears. I have his special ear wipes. So I clean his ears every day before going to sleep. Also, I brush his coat about once every week after a wipey bath. And when I do give his regular bath, the shampoo that I use for his coat is specific for coats that have allergies. So I use an oatmeal-based shampoo. They sell in any puppy store. And I use it because it's just soothing when you have an allergic skin. And these puppies do suffer from skin allergies. Also, something that I found is that because he gets itchy around his legs and his paws sometimes, when I do bathe him, I let him soak in the bath water with the shampoo inside for a little bit, because it's just soothing. He wants to play outside all the time. I should not show this to him because he'll start getting all crazy. But I throw it, he runs after it, he runs back. He's the kind of dog that like he treats himself. So when we go outside and to walk him, for him to pee, for him to do his stuff, he'll do number 2, and then all of a sudden he'll get all happy. I did it, and then he'll run to the yard. He'll grab a piece of mulch, and then he'll run inside the house with it. Be like, hey, I pooped, here's my treat. And it's like, no, that's not your treat, that's mulch, put that outside. So I have to give him a treat. So I chose to give him carrots. I slowly introduced him to fruits and veggies, because these dogs, it's really good for their coat. On top of that, they get hungry. This guy is a hungry monster. So if I were to feed him every time he got hungry, he'd be a little ball of fat. And I don't want that because that's not good for him, not good for his knees, not good for his joints. So heavy weight is bad in all cases, human or animal. So I give him veggies and fruits. I give him a specific food. This is his food. So Castor and Pollux is a really good brand. And I chose a pristine one on the base of salmon. And I say salmon, a lot of people say it's salmon. It doesn't matter, I'm Hispanic. I pronounce every letter in the word, so it's salmon. So this one is basically salmon and sweet potato. Because he has food allergies and skin condition issues, I wanted to choose a diet that was going to be good for his skin and his coat. Seafood is going to be really, really good for his skin. So that's what I decided to go for. It also has some lamb meal in there. And it took me a while to kind of transition him into that because he was having issues. It was really funny. He was kind of sick in the beginning. And so when I tried to switch him from his regular diet to his fish diet, he would gag at the smell of his new food. Like he'd start doing the gag reflex. It was the cutest thing. But I'm pretty sure it's because, you know, when you're sick, you don't really want to smell fish, I guess. And so he was having like a really bad reaction to it. But then once he started getting better, he started eating his regular meals. Another thing, a few items that any doggy food should not have. Corn. They cannot digest that stuff, guys. So just don't give it to your dog because it's gonna cause a lot of issues in their digestive system. Also, I went crazy and I went shopping like a maniac with my family for him. It's like we have a new baby in the house, so we bought him a stroller, so he has a stroller. And for the stroller, he has a harness. So when you put this harness on, hey buddy. So when you put on this harness on him, it has like this little clip thing and you can clip the stroller. It has a special latch and you can hook it to the harness so he won't jump out, which he did. Oh my God, you know, he jumped out of his stroller and landed on his face. Like he whacked his face into the pavement because he saw a leaf be blown by the wind. And I've never met a dog that loves toys so much. Like this guy, he's obsessed with his toys. Like, see, this is one of them. Squishy, yeah. It says blue zebra. Oh, he has the camel. He has his frog. He also has a carrot. He also has this little cutie thing that I recently gave to him. But he likes all his toys. I have a playpen for him, and in his playpen he has this blanket because sometimes he likes to sleep on it. He has a bed, sometimes he'll lay on it. And he has all his toys in there. And so it has two little doors, one on each end. And this guy is nuts. Like he'll literally run into the playpen, grab a toy, pull it out of the playpen, play with it outside, and then he'll get bored and then run back into the playpen, get another toy and bring it out. So by the time he finishes playing, 10 toys are spread out all around the entire house. And I get yelled at because it's like, hello, Veronica, pick up after your dog. And it's like, oh my God, I'm sorry. He also loves my dad's slippers. So every morning when my dad's looking for his slippers, they're actually outside because he's been playing with his slippers all morning. So like I said, he's very playful. But when I started training him, I got him wee-wee pads. So wee-wee pads are these really cool nifty thingies. You put it in a specific place that you want him to go to, and you put it in the same place every single time. Now you don't want to put this too close to his bed because dogs are very smart. They do not pee or poo where they sleep. That is like sanctuary. So if you put a wee-wee pad there, they're not going to use it. Put it far enough away so that they can pee on it and go somewhere else and play and sleep. They're really intelligent animals, you know. Okay, what else is in here? Oh yeah, I recently gave him, I call it Jiminy Cricket because it's like a little blue cricket, but he likes it, see? He has a lot of toys. Like I mentioned, the AKC, the certified chip, really important. Also, insurance. The AKC provides insurance for him. I think when I bought him, I got 30 days free, and then after that I have to pay a monthly fee to get his insurance, which is really, really important. You want insurance because a lot of dogs do need surgeries that are kind of expensive. Also, I recommend getting credit care, and it's basically a credit card that you can use for veterinary purposes. So you can specify that you want to use it for your dog or vet visits, and then you can use your credit card to pay for everything on there, and then you can have the vet place make the claim with your insurance, and then you'll be reimbursed so you can pay off the credit card. If you guys have any questions at all, feel free to let me know, comment below. If you guys have any recommendations for like specific stuff, let me know as well. If you're looking for a puppy and you don't know where to start, contact me, let me know. Follow me on Instagram, DM me, that's fine. I'll answer you guys. I love talking about my little Frenchies, so I'll obviously help you guys out. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.